Thank you all for coming. Coach Hazell is joined today by a couple of seniors. Cornerback Sid Saulter to your left, to your right, Spencer Key. Coach, would you like to do that one today?
Well, it was a good road victory for us. I thought all three phases played exceptionally well. We played off of each other. I thought the offense came out a little sluggish in the first two series, energy-wise, but then they started flying around and started making some plays, and defense did an excellent job of shutting them down, making them one-dimensional, stopping the run, and then creating some turnovers on third down, and did a good job of disguising some coverages, and the quarterback never felt comfortable. Just moving from right to left and left to right, and never was able to set his feet. And then our special teams continues to get better each week. I think we're covering kicks great, punts and kickoffs. And we got another big play out of Dree on the kickoff return. It was well blocked. And we also had a big play out of our punter, Anthony Malchiori, on the 4th and 1. We called that Aurora Alert because Anthony's from Aurora. And he did a good job of executing the play. But I'm excited as to where we are after the first 5 games. We got a long way to go still. We got to make sure that our team really understands how important it is to keep preparing as we go through the rest of the season.
Spencer, you became the all-time leader in passing. Okay, just talk about what honor you got passing Josh Cribbs over the weekend.
I mean, it is an honor. I didn't know that until a couple hours after the game, but yeah, it's an honor just to be here this long and have the opportunity to play and be with all the teammates I've been with. And really, it's really a team honor too because of all the guys that have made the contributions.
Spencer, have you talked to him much? I know that Josh is pretty active in contacting a lot of guys via Twitter and things like that. I mean, have you ever, and maybe when he's coming to talk, how much have you talked to him?
I haven't talked to him a whole lot, just a couple words here and there. But I mean, like he said, he came to the Akron game a few years ago, I think it was, and I talked to him some then on the sideline a little. But other than that, I haven't had much contact with him. I'm not big on Twitter, so. Yeah.
Coach, can you talk about your defense? It's kind of great game, average game, great game, average game. They haven't put really 2 back-to-back yet. Maybe you and Saulter can both kind of address that. Going forward, what you want to get out of it?
Well, obviously, we want to be consistent in all phases, and there's a lot of good players on that side of the ball, and when they're doing their assignments, they're really, really good. And obviously, when they're not, they're susceptible for some things. But I like the way they prepare, and I think that they understand that where their weaknesses are, the importance of making sure that we don't expose those weaknesses by not preparing properly.
Where are you with your linebackers, Strickland and some of the Parker? Is he back on track? Where are you?
Yeah, Parker's available to us this week. Strickland did a nice job in the game on Saturday for the first time, really playing a lot of reps at that position. I thought CJ played well. I thought Luke played exceptionally well. I mean, we had a lot of good players. A lot of players played very well on that side of the ball on Saturday.
Any update on Tyshawn?
Tyshawn is. We're going to meet this afternoon and try to make a decision for the season. That hamstring is still bothering him pretty good. So after our meeting today, we'll have a decision on what we need to do going forward with him.
So can you go back to Elton's question and talk a little bit about the defense and an off kind of game and then a really good game and then an off game and just the inability to at least string some together?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing that comes to mind is being consistent. That's what we're trying to do. Like, I know we have bad games with Ball State, bad game here with even with Townsend, we have been playing up to what we're capable of doing. So as far as it all go back to the seniors and leadership, I think we need to go back to our bases and get everything right, and then probably starts with practice. We'll get a good week of practice, and then we'll put another strong effort against Army this week, and you'll see more consistency.
Do you agree with Coach that just kind of across the board there's a lot of standout players?
Yeah, absolutely.
On that unit, so it's not a matter of not having good enough guys at positions as far as you're concerned.
No, I mean, I feel at every position that we're good at every position, up from first team to second team. It just all about comes down to execution, and we just got to be more consistent when it comes to game day.
Coach, talk about health-wise for the team. A lot of teams around the league are really banged up.
Mhm.
You know, where are you with that in regard, in that regard, collectively?
Yeah,
Offense and defense?
Yeah, I think you get into October, and that's the month that you start to see some attrition from guys that some teams are beat up more than others, and I think it's critical for us as a staff to make sure our preparation allows us to get the work in but not beat the guys up, because this is the stretch where you lose a lot of guys in October. We came out of the game on Saturday pretty healthy. Richard Gray's got a little bit of an ankle, but he'll be fine for Saturday. But we're pretty good, going into the second week of October, health-wise.
Is anybody depth chart-wise moving up, guys making pushes for minutes? Second, third team, whatever?
Offensively, we've been pretty consistent throughout the last couple of weeks at every position. Defensively, we've been rolling corners through there, and linebackers have been solid. The Sam backer is getting better, I think. And if you really truly evaluate that position, I think we're getting better at the Sam backer, which we need to be really good by the end of October. Defensive line, we're rolling 8 guys through there. So it's been the same characters all year long, pretty much.
There was a couple guys on the defensive line, even down to 9 and 10. Are they pushing back?
No, we had to, sometimes you get a chance to play a lot of guys when you get into those ball games like we got into Saturday, which is always great for creating more depth, but also giving your older guys some more rest going forward. So we were very fortunate on Saturday to get a big lead and be able to put those young guys in, and that makes those guys practice a little bit better as well. But that's why you saw them, not because they were pushing the guys in front of them.
Spencer, Tyshawn was a favorite target of yours like the past 3 years, and with his rest of the season in question, you haven't really played that much with the rest of the receivers. So, what receivers have you been comfortable throwing to so far this season?
Really all of them. I mean, they've all done a great job and stepped up with his absence, and all the ones that have played. I mean, Humphrey, Adeyemi, Boyle, they've all done a great job, and they've been working really hard each week, week in and week out, practicing and getting the film study. So I'm really happy with what we've got right now.
Can you talk a little bit about the season and how it started? And I think you've shown a lot middle towards the end of games of really the kind of competitor you can be. But Coach has talked a couple times about some slow starts. Can you address that, and is that something, just consistency that you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to come out stronger and faster in the first quarter. I guess the last 2 weeks we've only scored 3 points in the first quarter, so we definitely have to improve on that. And we have been finishing games well, so that's a positive. But we do have to work on a faster start, and I guess it just starts with mental preparation before the game, maybe.
I think it's more mental than physical.
I mean, it's probably a combination of both, but I don't know. Just gotta come out stronger and faster.
Sydney and Spencer, you guys have never been pretty new, obviously, in the MAC. Dealing with success, it's got to be a little, obviously, exciting, but how do you kind of keep your feet grounded, other than Coach Constance preaching, I'm sure, but just to kind of not get caught up in that, just keep grinding away?
I mean, it's kind of hard not to get caught up in that because, like you said, we haven't been winning here for real, but y'all come back to get leadership again. Us being seniors, we got to get the guys, especially the young guys, to keep composure, just, act like we've been there before. Then that success will keep on going on as long as we keep that mindset.
Yeah, we just got to look at the next week and can't look back in the past and see what we've done. We just got to focus 1 week at a time and just focus on each practice, and I'm sure we'll be fine.
Coach, talk about Army a little bit and just what they present, particularly in the middle of the season. Sometimes you don't mind that game if it's early, but now it's...
Yeah, they present a lot of challenges. I mean, just studying the film, obviously on offense, they run the triple option, which, when you only see it once a year, you better be good for that one day. And I think the big theme for this week is team discipline, because if you don't tackle the fullback, he'll run for a lot of yards if that's your assignment. If you don't tackle the quarterback, he'll run for a lot of yards if that's your assignment. If you don't tackle the pitchback, if that's your assignment, he'll run for a lot of yards. So it's going to be very important for us defensively to make sure we're disciplined and we're staying with our assignments. Conversely, the offense sometimes feels like they have to score because Army does such a great job of time of possession. The offense feels like they're under pressure. They got to score every single time they get out there. We can't stress out or pressure ourselves because we feel like we have to score every single time. They're a good football team. And obviously, their record doesn't indicate that, but they came off of a big win against Boston College this past weekend, and that's got to do a lot for their confidence.
You mentioned several times when talking to defense, both of you guys, about concentration, discipline, staying in your assignments. Is that the issue, so to speak, with some of the unevenness in performance? For the defense.
For Army game or for
the season overall?
There's a combination of a lot of things why we didn't have success in some plays. Sometimes there's just eye discipline in the back end and sitting down on routes, and sometimes just not giving help from the underneath coverage. And there's a lot of different reasons. I don't know if there's any one particular thing you can put your finger on, but obviously those are issues that we need to get corrected going forward.
Sid, how do you stay alert as a corner against triple option? Because you run, all of a sudden you hit a home run hit, because that's what the triple option does. How do you stay alert?
Yeah, exactly. Like Coach said, it all comes down to discipline, because corners is going to be a real boring game. But like 5 really important plays, that's when they're going to come get you, It's going to come at you, going to play action, and go over the top. So for that, out of the whole 90 plays of that whole game, those 5 plays, you got to really be really disciplined and be on your keys on that one.
It's safe to say that sometimes it doesn't even matter which athletes are running each position, that it's more the scheme that is the athletes.
For them, for Army, well, it's absolutely the scheme. It's been there forever, and that's why. Oh, absolutely. We were in the triple option when I was there, and I was a receiver tight end coach, and we would throw it 7, 8 times a game. You have to be a psychologist on Sundays after the game to try to get your guys going for the next week. But it's the scheme. It really is the scheme, and they want you to be out of position. That's the whole premise of the offense. They want you to be out of position, and that's how they get their big plays.
It's almost like the discipline of the Army in general.
Mhm.
You need to be disciplined. It's like that's just an extension of how they play is a lot like.
Absolutely.
Darrell, for a lot of people, that's considered one of the great game day atmospheres on a Saturday. What do you remember about it? What makes it special?
It really is a spectacular place to watch a football game. I think they voted it top 10 places in the country. I used to be up in the press box and looking over the campus. It's just absolutely beautiful. And then you have the cadets marching in. You have the parachuters bringing the football in, the game ball in. It's just the whole atmosphere, and the flag runs out, and it gives you chills just thinking about the environment there. It's a great place to watch a game and be a part of a game. So it's going to be exciting for us. We're actually going to do a little tour, 45 minutes. We're going to get there a little bit early and have a couple of the cadets ride us around on campus and take us to a couple locations and show us what the history of this country is all about. So that'll be neat for our guys.
Going from memory here, Spencer, did you play the mental freshman?
Yeah, I played the first quarter, then my thumb was hurt that game, so I was out.
Any other memories of that day?
There's not a whole lot. I just remember 1 or 2 big plays we had, and not much more.
Did you have to kind of watch, not get caught up in all the pregame stuff? Because unlike other places where it's unique to them, I would think the whole Army thing is unique to everybody just because of how much we all appreciate the armed services and that. So all that stuff at the beginning, it's got to be great to watch, but at the same time, do you have to kind of keep reserved from letting it make too much emotions?
Yeah, you do have to keep reserved, but it is enjoyable to watch, and you just really have to keep your mind focused on the game and enjoy it for the moment, and then get back refocused.
Spencer, can you quantify how, last year at this time, the offensive line was a real question. They seem to be playing pretty well. Can you quantify how much better they are now?
Yeah, they've done a great job in both the run and pass game. I felt like I can just sit back there for a while in the pass game, and just their protection's been great, and especially the last couple games. So they've made improvements, a lot of improvements since last year, and that's what started us off so well.
Same thing.
Oh, absolutely. I think, those guys, those 5 guys, I think have done an unbelievable job of just playing together. Understand the communication's been almost flawless, and that's where it starts. The line calls up front, but also they play so hard, and you can see them. They play so well together, but they play so hard. It's almost like a competitive thing within the group, which makes it really, really good.
Coach, for you and Spencer, Spencer maybe first. Earlier in the season, you talked a couple times about wanting Spencer to go ahead and just pull it in the red zone. Go ahead and see it, no matter how small the window is. The window's there. Go ahead and pull it. And even though it was his shortest distance touchdown, when I saw the replay of the 5-yarder to Dree, that looked like one that you may not have thrown earlier in the year. Can you take us, both of you, just kind of take us through that? And one, was it that type of, am I misreading that? And two, if I'm right, just what's the difference between now and maybe 2 or 3 games going after that game?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Coach earlier in the year, and he told me to be more aggressive with things, and the receiver's open, right when he gets open, just hit him. So I've gained confidence in that, and I just really started to play a little more aggressive. And once I see the open receiver, I'm pulling the trigger a little quicker. So I think that's definitely helped me the last couple games.
Yeah, to his credit, like I said before, he's been very, the reason he hasn't turned the ball over is because he takes care of it, and he's a little bit cautious. And on that particular play where he throws to Dree, they were in bracket coverage. We thought they were going to be in bracket coverage, and we had a play designed to leak the back out, Trayon out, because they were going to bracket the inside receiver. Well, the bracket came off the inside receiver, so it left Dree one-on-one. He made a great read and a great throw on that. I mean, he had tight coverage, and Dree was wrapping around the guy, and he threw it right where he needed to throw it. And he kept the ball protected, and it was a good throw. It was Dree's or no one's, so it was a great play by him.
Was that indicative of what you were talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the throws, when you get against good football teams that you have to make to win those close battle games, and that was a good throw. That was good to see him make that throw.
Coach, forgive me if you answered this in the post game on Saturday, but you talk about the Hitchens play on 4th down.
Yeah, that's everybody in the world runs that play. It's a power pass on a short yardage play. It's NFL down, and it's an influence block by the fullback, and then he was supposed to leak out into the flat off of a flash fake to the tailback. On that particular play, they brought edge blitz, and so it was hard for Zach to get out. He got nudged. Spencer rolled around, and a nice easy throw, catchable ball, allowed us to continue the drive.
That's something you've had in all year?
Oh yeah, yep.
Can you address the slow start on offense and what it is what are you seeing with that? I mean, is that like a figuring out process, like not necessarily just Spencer, but just the offense in general, just to kind of see what the defense is going to do?
I didn't feel the energy in the huddle, those first 2 drives. And, at the end of the Ball State game where guys were screaming and yelling and doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing on the sideline, that's the energy you need to play with all the time. Well, those first 2 series, I didn't feel that energy. And so you try to get them to get going. But one of the penalties hurt us, that personal foul hurt us, took us out of scoring position. But then I thought our energy level picked up, and we were able to execute a little bit better.
So who does that fall on, needing to kind of get the
Me. I'll take ownership on that.
Coach, with another big week at Dree, do you think he's positioning himself to be a strong candidate for a MAC midseason MVP and MVP for the season?
I don't look at any of those things right now. All we're concerned about right now is making sure we keep getting better each week, and we'll figure out. We'll take into inventory at the end of the season what accolades someone gets. But right now, the most important thing is us to keep getting better each week. That's the only thing that's important.
Have you ever coached a player with the same explosiveness as Dree?
The guy that I can compare him to probably the most is Teddy Ginn, top end speed wise, and the ability to take it anytime he has the ball in his hands.
You said it, I'm sorry.
Is it tough to step out? I mean, you're 3-0 in the MAC, you finally get that role. I think y'all kind of alluded to this earlier. Now you have to step out for a non.
Like I said this morning on the press conference for the MAC, you only get to play 12 of these, guaranteed 12 of these, and every single one is important. And so we prepare, regardless of whether we're in the MAC or out of the MAC, we prepare the same for all of them, and they're all important games, every single one.
I was gonna say, you've said over and over, and I think all of us have gotten to the point where we keep asking the same question too, is why does everybody keep kicking the Dree? And I know that you're glad that they do, but, I mean, that's gotta change at some point. Is it just that they've gotta see him on film, they've gotta see the speed, and it's not even a matter of.
Well, as you remember, and when they opened up and kicked to, they had a pooch on that we thought they were going to do, and we had a pooch return called, where the guys did an unbelievable job of getting over there, protecting the football, and Adeyemi called it, hit a crease, and it probably should have scored. Jordan Italiano goes and blocks the kicker. If Eric doesn't run into the back of Leon, it's going to score. So that made him nervous, I'm sure. So they came back the next kick and kicked it to Dree, which is probably never a good idea. And he made him pay for it. We had a left return on, and he hit a small crease, and we had some good blocking up in front of him, and they did a good job of executing.
Is that a case where they're saying, hey, let's try and get it, not so much kicking it to Dree as much as trying to get it deep in the end zone so he doesn't bring it out?
Well,
I know you can't read it.
yeah, you can't read their mind, but the kicker, his distance was between the goal line and the 5 all season long, so he wasn't going to put it in the end zone, even with the wind that we had, which was a swirling wind. So I'm not so sure. In retrospect, he probably wouldn't want to squib that kick, put it in one of the fullbacks' hands.
What goes through all three of your minds, though, when you see that ball is about to go into Dree's hands and he has a chance to take it to the house?
I mean, like you said, he always has a chance. I mean, he's so fast. Once he breaks the first line of attack, I mean, once he gets out in the open, he's gone. So anytime they kick it to him, we're all wide-eyed and ready to see what happens.
The first thing I'm thinking, I'm like, 6. I got my hands up like this, right? I'm saying 6, 6, 6. And then once you see him break that run, it's like 6 for real. Like, oh, man. And then it's over for that.
I think I'm more surprised, more so than anything, that he's getting the ball. And, we talk about if we can go 5 for 5 up front, something good's going to happen. And that's where it starts. If those 5 guys up front can maintain their blocks for a second and a half, 2 seconds once they're engaged, something good's going to really happen for us.
Can you touch on the Army defense?
Yeah, it's unique as well as the offense is. They play a little bit different. They play one linebacker real close to the offensive line, about 3 yards off the ball, and then they put 2 guys behind them, and they let those guys scrape from side to side, try to keep those guys protected. They play a lot of man coverage in the back end. They play a lot of man free, and they're very, very active up front, bouncing off of people, spinning. They're not very big, but they are very active. And they gave Boston College some fits on the edge last week.
Spencer said this is the first time you guys are 4-1, first time like Ken football's really had success while you guys have been here. Just on the football field, what's it like having that success, and just like socially, like off campus, has it been any different in treatment, like from like friends and like people on campus?
Nah, I mean, it really hadn't been a whole lot different. On the field, it's obviously a lot more fun to win, so that's a great thing. And really, but we're all so busy. I mean, you don't really see what people are saying or anything like that off the field. So we do get a little more praise, and I'm sure the fans enjoy it a lot more. And so just try to keep it rolling.
Yeah, off the field, absolutely. I think it's way different because a lot of my professors and fans, students are telling me like, congratulations on this and that. But on the field, just feel real good to win. But I try not to we try to make sure like all that doesn't get to our heads and make a difference. So we just try to go out there and just, like Coach said, improve each week and just play. But yeah, it's absolutely a lot different off the field though.
I think what they'll experience when this is all said and done, if we're able to keep having some success, is they'll look back at the end of the season and really cherish some of the things that have happened throughout the course of the season. It's hard once you're in it to really feel good about what's going on, because it's constant preparation. But when they look back, they'll say, "Man, that was pretty exciting." That'll be the neat thing if it continues to do well.
With the winning, kind of comes like people targeting you now. So how's it feel to go from slept on to targeted?
You asking me? Well, as I've said several times, everybody's doing the exact same thing around the country. There's 120 teams playing Division I football, and we're all preparing like crazy. That coach over there in school X, Y, or Z is spending a lot of hours and breaking down film, and the players are doing the same, and so they're all trying to get you anyway. So it doesn't affect you one way or the other. You got to prepare like nuts and give yourself a chance to win, be successful.